This may be a difficult one for some of you to watch. This video is for those agents who are blaming others for their failures in this business, right? I want to talk about the two dirtiest words in sales: personal responsibility. I also want to talk about the cancer that is the blame game. And I want to also cover the controllables and the uncontrollables in telesales. So let's get started with one simple question. If I gave agent A 100 leads and I gave agent B 100 of the same leads, you'd think they'd both have the same results, right? I mean, they got the same training, they got the same access to tools and resources, they got the same access to ongoing knowledge growth, right? So now let's say that agent A closed 30 deals while agent B closed 3. Is it the leads? No, hard no, plain and simple. Like Maverick said in Top Gun, it's not the plane, it's the pilot, right? So here, it's not the leads, it's the agent. If you were agent B and constantly comparing yourself to other agents on leaderboards, wishing you had the same leads, wishing you had all those same laydown sales. By the way, that is just in your mind that those are laydowns, right? Do you have some animosity towards the leads, as an example? If so, then you are playing the blame game and you're not taking any personal responsibility. That's what I want to talk about here today. Because listen, the definition of a lead is really just a name, number, and hint of interest. Marketing's job is to go out and find and deliver that interest to you. And your job is to convert that interest into action, right? Simple. Now, here's where agent A and agent B have huge differences. What did agent A do that agent B did not do, right? Did agent A spend countless hours studying, reading, reciting, role-playing, everything when it came to the provided scripting and training? Did agent B just skip all that and think they knew what they were doing right from the start and that sales would just ultimately fall from the sky? Crazy, right? Did agent A do an enormous amount of activity? Did they do a bunch of follow-up? Were they dialing for dollars while, agent B would call a lead once and then make excuses why, doing more activity was useless or a waste of time, right? They called once and thought, hey, this person's never going to answer the phone, so why keep trying, right? Excuses. Agent A, did agent A know the script? Did they recite it flawlessly? Because they've been studying hard. They go home, after their day is done of dialing for dollars, right? They're at home studying. They're not at home playing video games. They're not going out to the bar. They are working hard to get better at their craft, right? So they know this script front to back. They recite it flawlessly. But agent B, right? Was agent B just having a script printed out and reading it verbatim like a robot? That's never going to work, right? Did agent A go on, Amazon and buy a bunch of books to help build their skills even further? Talk about books like about closing techniques, maybe tonality, assuming the sale, questions-based sales, right? Did agent B just think that they could work part-time hours and earn a full-time income and not immerse themselves in their craft and have the same results as agent A? No, that's crazy, right? Take some personal responsibility here. As agent A, worked 10 hours a day consistently, while agent B is working 2 and making excuses why hang up the hat the rest of the day, right? Instead of making more phone calls and perfecting their craft. When agent A hung up the phone after not closing a prospect, did they question the lead or did they blame themselves, right? Did they go back and listen to the call recording and ask themselves, hey, what could I have done better on this call? What could I have done? Did they go out and blame everyone? Did they blame the quality of the lead? Did they blame, the scripting? They didn't. They took personal responsibility and blamed themselves, right? And they said, what could I have done better? And I'm betting agent B hung up the phone and cursed the leads. That's the blame game, right? We need to get away from the blame game to take responsibility here. So agent B takes no responsibility, no personal responsibility for their failures. Well, agent B or agent A rather is cashing in on all their hard work, right? They're just not interested in getting better. Agent B isn't, right? They're not continuing to hone their skills. They just want to have sales handed to them. And that's not how this works. If you're not constantly improving and growing, you're dying. And that's where agent A takes full personal responsibility and understands that, hey, I have to keep getting better and better and better. I have to keep training. I have to keep learning. I have to keep getting better. I need to read more books. I need to immerse myself further in my craft. While agent B goes into the office, makes 2 hours worth of phone calls, doesn't try to get better, and then they blame other folks for, why they're not successful in this business. So let's talk about controllables and uncontrollables for a minute here. What can you control every day in this business? And there's dozens, so I'll just focus on a couple. Number one is activity. This is your number one every single day. Just show up and do the work. Don't think about it. Your motto every day should be, when in doubt, call someone, right? So maybe you ran out of leads. Go call everyone that told you they weren't interested in the past 60 days. There are people that will buy from you. They said no before. Now it's your job to go and do the activity. When in doubt, call somebody. Call them again. Hey, you told me before you weren't interested, probably caught you at a bad time. I just want to revisit this conversation again. Now a little bit of time has gone by. And, did you have any follow-up questions? Go make 100 of those phone calls, and I guarantee you that you will make sales. Go call all of your in-force clients just to check in, and, you can squeeze a referral to, just that day. What would that be worth to you in your business? Another referral or two in a day where maybe you ran out of new leads to call, as an example. Don't make excuses. Go make sales and take some personal responsibility. So if you think that, hey, I've done everything for today, I can go play golf now, don't, right? You need to sit in the chair 8 to 10 hours a day. And if you want to have full-time income, you need to work full-time hours. And you have got plenty of people to talk to, even those that said, hey, I'm not a buyer today, I'm not interested. Call them back. Call all of your in-force customers. You will generate sales, guaranteed. Number two is lead flow. Totally within your control. So behind activity, you have to never make excuses for running out of leads. I can't afford leads, or, I'll buy more when this commission hits, is just an excuse. It's a flaw in your business. Simply put, you don't believe in yourself. You keep starting from zero every time you do this. There is zero excuse for not having leads. Once you turn off a lead order, you may as well shut down your business, because a business with no inventory means a business with nothing to sell and should be shut down immediately. Don't ever turn off your lead order, ever. You need to be taking new leads every single day, no matter what, right? You may have a bad sales day, but if you're consistent, you'll never have a bad sales week, and definitely won't have a bad sales month, because you have a constant supply of new leads coming in, new prospects. So on top of that, again, go back to number one, when in doubt, call somebody. You have new leads coming in, you're guaranteed to make sales every day, but you also have an inventory of past leads that didn't close. You can go back and touch them as well. And then number three is scripting, right? Lastly, that is in your control. And again, there's a dozen more, controllables, but you get the point here. But scripting, if you're calling leads and just saying whatever you want with zero structure, you're not using your training, you aren't using a strategy that we all know works, and you really expect a different result, that's just insanity, right? You need to stick to scripting that works and not try to reinvent the wheel. Follow a tried and true process, or you'll slowly die in this business. That's completely within your control. So again, if you don't know your scripting, you need to get to know it. You need to be super comfortable with it. You don't want to be reading off of a piece of paper, because customers can hear that, and they're not going to buy from you. So you need to get to know that. That is completely within your control, right? So let's talk about a couple of uncontrollables. Number one, getting a no, right? No's are part of sales, but far too many people take that personally. Oh my God, they said no, I'm taking it personal, right? A no should be applauded. It means you're doing the activity, right? If I know a lead should close at 10%, I want to get my 9 no's as quickly as possible so I can get to my 1 yes, right? Then I want to get to the next 9 no's as quickly as possible so I can get to my second yes of the day. Problem is, most agents don't understand that rejection is a part of sales, and you need to embrace rejection. You have to have a thick skin. You're going to hear no all the time. You're going to get hung up on. That's part of the business. And if you're not cut out for that, you're not cut out for it. But you need to understand that getting a no is a good thing. It's not in your control, but your control is the activity that it takes to get there, right? So while I can't get those 9 no's to turn to a yes magically, right? 'Cause it's just part of the business. I know they are just in my way to a yes. And I'm going to keep hammering, right? I'm going to keep hammering my calls. I'm going to keep hammering the no's. I want to get the no's, because again, I can call that no back in a week and probably turn it to a yes, but I want to get through the no's quickly, versus agent B is always giving up, right? Don't give up. That's part of the business. Agent B typically gets three no's in a row, and they think, oh man, the leads are bad. The system's bad. It's not working, right? No, you need to get those no's out of the way to get to your yeses, right? And uncontrollable, the thing you have control over though is your activity. Number two, answer rates. You got no control over answer rates on leads, right? Don't stress over this because it isn't uncontrollable. So live within the confines of today's, society and know that alternate means of communication exist and many clients prefer them over a phone call. You need to use that, right? And you can never, ever expect to have 100% answer rate on leads. It will never happen. If I send you 100 leads that said, call me, on a website, 100 will never answer, right? You need to embrace that. You need to know, and you need to remove all that emotion and know that it's 100% a numbers game, and you have to do the activity to get those people on the phone, right? Listen, if you're still watching this video, you could probably admit that taking some personal responsibilities in order, right? If you're agent B, always struggling in sales, did you do everything I mentioned? Did you go back and listen to and critique your phone calls, right? Did you do the activity? Did you make excuses? Did you absorb every bit of training you could? The answer is almost always no. Almost always no. And I recommend you take a hard look at your day-to-day in this business and ask yourself the hard questions. Trust me though, it's not too late. You can turn this ship around. You just need to focus and remove all distractions to your success and get in that yes mindset, right? So thanks y'all for watching and hope y'all got some value out of this video.